12 defective pens. 12 defective pens are accidentally mixed with 132 good pens. So E1 equals to event of getting defective pens, and E1 is given as 12. E2 equals to event of getting good pens. So E2 is how much? 132. It is not possible to just look at pen and tell whether or not it is defective. One pen is taken out at random from this lot. Determine the probability that the pen taken out is a good one. So clearly NS equals to NE1 plus of NE2 will be equals to 12 plus 132 equals to 144. Therefore, good it is asking, no? PE2 equals to probability of getting a good pen equals to NE2 by NS equals to 132 by 144. So equals to 11 by 12. Now question number 17. Question number 17. Number 1. Subparts are there. Subpart number 1. A lot of 20 bulbs containing 4 defective bulbs. Okay. Now one bulb is drawn at random from the lot. What is the probability that the bulb is defective? Simple. 4 by 20. Suppose the bulb drawn in 1 is not defective and is replaced. Okay. Now one bulb is drawn at random from the rest. What is the probability that this bulb is not defective? So question 17 number 1 is saying that directly I am writing NS equals to 20 and N of means defective. E1 is I am taking as defective. E1 equals to event that the bulb is defective. So N of E1 is 4. Therefore, question is asking that what is the probability that this bulb is defective. So PE1 equals to NE1 by NS, that is 4 by 20, that is 1 by 5. Number 2, it is saying that one bulb is, suppose the bulb drawn in number 1 is not defective. Means it is saying that it is saying that the bulb which I have drawn is not defective. It is means correct. It is good bulb. So is not defective and is not replaced. I mean it is not kept back. Now one bulb is drawn from the rest. So over here NS will be equals to 20 minus of 1, that is 19, and E2 question is asking what is the probability that this bulb is not defective. The E2 equals to good bulb, that is the bulb which is not defective. Therefore NE2, and defective is already 4 we are knowing, and the bulb which we have taken out was not defective. It means good bulb we have taken out. So defective bulb is still 4 and the good bulb is now 19 minus 4, that is 15. I think you understand this one. One bulb has over here 20 bulbs are there. Okay, 20. Now in this 20, 4 were defective and 16 were good. ठीक है. Now the question is saying that one bulb I am taking out of good, and this bulb I am replacing somewhere else. I am not miskeeping it. I am not replacing it back. I am keeping it somewhere. Now how many good are left? So 16 minus 1, that is 15. ठीक है. So 15 good and a defective one is still 4 only. So question is asking what is the probability that this bulb drawn is not defective, that it is good. Therefore PE2 equals to NE2 by NS equals to 15 by 19, because now total number of bulbs is 15 plus 4, that is 19. Okay, now let us move to question number 18. Now question number 18 says that a box contains 90 discs. A box is there in which 90 discs are there. So if we count off total number of discs, it is 90. From 1 to 90 means the discs are numbered from 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 90. So discs are numbered from 1 to 90. If one disc is drawn at random from the box, find the probability that it bears a 2-digit number. So let us start. Number 1, E1 equals to event that the disc drawn is bearing a 2-digit number. Now 2-digit number from 1 to 90 starts from 10, so 10, 11, 12 and so on till 90. Clearly, or we can write therefore NE1 equals to 81. 90 minus 10 is 80 and plus 1 is 81. So NE1 is 81, therefore PE1 equals to probability that the disc has 2-digit number on it equals to NE1 by NS equals to 81 by 90 equals to 9 by 10. Number 2, a perfect square number. E2 equals to event that the disc has a perfect square number equals to, perfect square number is 1, then 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 9 is 81 and 10 10 is 100, and we have to consider till 90 only. So these are the perfect square numbers between 1 to 90 or from 1 to 90. So therefore N of E2 equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Therefore PE2 equals to, I am not writing the statement, you will be writing probability that the disk has a perfect square number will be equals to NE2 by NS equals to 9 by 90 equals to 1 by 10. Now one more part is there. Number 3, E3 equals to event that the disc drawn has a number has a number divisible by 5. Now 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85 and 90 itself. So in spite of writing all this, we can find the number of events or number of numbers between 1 to 90 which are divisible by 5 by arithmetic progression formula, that is by getting over here tn equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. So tn is 90, last term, first term is over here, first term is 5 n minus 1 into d is also is 5. So n minus 1 will be how much? 85 by 5. So this will be equals to 5 1 ja and 5 7 ja. So n will be 18. Let us see it is 18 or not. Yes, it is 18. So we can write over here NE3 equals to 18. Okay. Therefore, PE3 equals to NE3 by NS equals to 18 by 90 equals to 1 by 5. So this is the answer. Now let us move to question number 19. So very interesting question, children. I think probability questions are just playing by sitting by, means no extra effort is needed to solve the sums of probability. Let us move to question number 19. Now question number 19, this pen is not working. A child has a die whose 6 faces show the letters as given below. So the 6 faces are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Letters are A, B, C, D, E, A. A, B, C, D, E, A. The die is thrown once. What is the probability of getting A? And number 2 is B. Easy sum. Number 1 is for A. So we will be writing E is equals to event of getting A. Therefore NE is equals to 2 and NS is 6. Therefore PE is NE by NS equals to 2 by 6 equals to 1 by 3. Now number 2, let us write it is E1, 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 E1 because subpart number 2 also is there, and D it is asking. E2 equals to event of getting D. Therefore N of E2 equals to only one D is there, 1. NS equals to 6. Therefore PE2 equals to NE2 by NS equals to 1 by 6. So this is the answer. Let us move to question number 20. Question number 20, it is saying that suppose you drop a die at random on the rectangular region. One rectangular region is there. What is the probability that it will land inside the circle with diameter 1 meter? So So diameter is 1 meter. So radius is 1 by 2 meter. And its length is given as 3 meter. And breadth is given as 2 meter. So probability that it will land inside the circle, like this similar sum we have done in the introduction video. So area of circle equals to pi r square equals to 22 by 7 into half equals to 11 by 14 meter square. Area of rectangular region equals to 3 into 2 equals to 6 meter square. Therefore, probability that you drop a die. So probability that the die will fall in the circular region will be equals to area of circle divided by area of rectangle. So this will be equals to 11 by 14 divided by 6. So this will be equals to 11 by 14 into 1 by 6. So it will be 11 by 84 meter square. So not meter square, 11 by 84 probability. So this is the answer. Now let us move to question number 21. Question number 21 says that a lot consists of 144 ball pens, of which 20 are defective. 144 ball pens, of which 20 are defective. 20 are defective. And the others are good. So 144 minus 20, that is 124 is good. ठीक है. Nuri will buy a pen if it is good, but will not buy if it is defective. The shopkeeper draws one pen at random and gives it to her. What is the probability that she will buy it, she will not buy it? So very easy. So directly you can write number 1 is she will buy it is 124 by 144. She will not buy is 20 by 144. So you frame the sentence by your own. Let NS is equals to 144, total number of ball pens. E1 is equals to event that she will buy it. So and E1 equals to 124, that is the good pens. 144 minus 124, that is 144 minus 20, that is 124 good pens. Therefore P1 equals to NE1 by NS, that is 124 by 44. Whatever you get, that is the answer. She will not buy it is 20 by 144. Whatever you will get is the answer. So please do question number 21 by your own. Let us move to question number 22. 22 is saying refer to example 13(1) and complete the table. So event sum on 2 dice. So this I think you should do sum on 2 dice. And probability sum is 2, 3, 4 till 12. Okay, so we have to divide it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Okay. The sum on the two dice should be this much. Okay, probability of getting the sum on the two dice as 2 is 1 by 36. Now you have to refer that table which is given in exercise example 13. Okay, example 13, this table is given which I explained in the explanation, that is the first video. So 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, then 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 2 4, 2 5, 2 6, then 3 1, 3 2, 3 3, 3 4, 3 5 and 3 6, then 4 1, 4 2, 4 3, 4 4, 4 5 and 4 6, then 5 1, 5 2, 5 3, 5 4, 5 5 and 5 6. Last row 6 1, 6 2, 6 3, 6 4, 6 5 and 6 6. Okay, so now what we have to do, the sum as 2 is only 1, the sum as 3 is these two, so it will be 2 by 36, that is will be equals to 1 by 18. Equals to 1 by 18. Okay. Sum as 4. Sum as 4 will be 1 3, 2 2 and 3 1. So sum as, this one was sum as 3. This is sum as 4. So 1 2 3. 3 options are there. So 3 by 36 equals to 1 by 12. Sum as 5. Sum as 5, obviously this. So sum as 5 is this one. And how many options are there? 1 2 3 4. So 4 by 36. So this will be equals to 1 by 9. Now sum as 6. Obviously this one. Sum as 6. So 1 2 3 4 5. This is 5 by 36. Okay. Now sum as 7. 7 is this one. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 6 by 36, which will be equals to 1 by 6. Now sum as 8 will be this one. One, two, three, four, 5. So 5 by 36. Sum as 9. Sum as 9 with this one. So 1 2 3 4. 4 by 36 equals to 1 by 9. Sum as 10 is this one. So 1 2 3. 3 by 36 equals to 1 by 12. Sum as 11, these two. So 2 by 36 equals to 1 by 18. And sum as 12 is this only. So this will be equals to 1 by 36. So you can see from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then 6. From this side also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then 6. Chalo, so this sum is done. Now this is okay. This is subpart number 1. This what we have done is subpart number 1. Now subpart number 2 says that a student argues that there are 11 possible outcomes. These are the 11 possible outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 possible outcomes. And therefore each of them has a probability 1 by 11. Do you agree with this argument? Justify your answer. No. Definitely we don't agree. No, as they are not equally likely events. You can see the probability of each is not coming same, means they are not coming the same number of times. So they are not equally likely. Now question number 23. Question 23. Question 23 says that a game consists of tossing a 1 rupee coin 3 times and noting its outcome each time. Hanif wins if all the tosses give the same result, that is 3 heads or 3 tails, and loses otherwise. Calculate the probability that Hanif will lose the game. So a coin is tossed 3 times. So I said in the starting means video, that is first part video only, that a coin is tossed 3 times or 3 coins are tossed simultaneously. Both should be considered same, means the observation you will be writing the same for the S, that is the sample space. So here the sample space we will be writing as 3 coins are tossed, so 8 times. So H, 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 T, 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 H, H, T, T, H, H, T, T, then H, T, H, T, H, T, H, T. These are the options 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we will be writing like this: H, 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 T, H, T, H, H, T, T. In this way no observation will be missed and or repeated. That's why I advise you to do this first and then you write in order. Okay. Therefore NS equals to 8. Now the question is saying that E is equals to event that the outcomes are, what he wants, outcomes give the same result. Outcomes give the same result. Now this is equals to H, 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 T, T, T. In these two only, all the means result is same, the outcomes are same. So therefore NE is equals to 2. And calculate the probability that Hanif will lose the game. So if I have taken E as the outcome which give the same result, you can give the outcome which give the different result. Then a different result, because the question is asking Hanif will lose the game. So that also we can write, but since I have written the outcome will give the same result, then the losing the match I will be doing as 1 minus of PE. Therefore PE equals to probability that Hanif will win the match equals to NE by NS equals to 2 by 8 equals to 1 by equals to 1 by 4. Therefore PE bar equals to probability that Hanif will lose the match. will lose the match equals to 1 minus 1 by 4 equals to 3 by 4. I think you understood. Now over here again I repeat, if you take the event that the outcomes don't give the same result, you will have to write all the same results which are not same. Obviously that is 6. So you will be writing in that case NE equals to 6 and PE will be equals to 6 by 8, and 6 by 8 you will be getting as 3 by 4 only. So you do in this way or that way, your choice children, but the thing is that you should understand the concept. Now let us move to question number 24. 24 is saying that a die is thrown twice. What is the probability that 5 will not come up either time? Means 5 will not come up on any of the die, means in any of the throw of the die, and number 2, 5 will come up at least once. So in this case we will have to write all the probabilities. So S equals to all the events of the sample space. So it will be 1 1, 1 2 and so on till 1 6, then 2 1 up to 2 6, 3 1 up to 3 6, 4 1 up to 4 6, 5 1 up to 5 6, and 6 1 up to 6 6. Keep in mind, throwing 2 die simultaneously and 1 die 2 times will be considered the same. The observations will be coming same. As I said in terms of coins, the same is applied for dice as well. So therefore NS equals to 36. Now number 1. 5 will not come up on either time. So E1 equals to event that 5 will not come either time. So in this case number 2, 5 will come up at least once. If we do number 2 first, it will be more easy for us. But even then, since E1 has been asked as number part 1, 5 will not come up either time. Let me find out. Let us find out the time when 5 has come. So over here 1 time, over here 6 time, 1 time, 1 time, 1 time and 1 time. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 5 has come 11 times on either of the die. So even that 5 will not come either time will be equals to 36 minus of 11. That is will be equals to 25. Therefore PE1 equals to probability that 5 will not come either time equals to NE1 by NS equals to 25 by 36. Number 2, E2 equals to event that 5 will come up at least once. Will come up at least once. Sorry, over here NE1 we will be writing. NE1. NE1. Now this already we have calculated. So NE2 equals to 11. So therefore PE2 equals to NE2. You can write the statement NE2 by NS equals to 11 by 36. Or we can write PE2 equals to 1 minus PE1 directly equals to 1 minus 25 by 36 equals to 11 by 36. So either you do this one taking the complementary statements, or you can do directly like this. So one more question is left. Now Now question number 25 says that which of the following arguments are correct and which are not correct. Give reasons for your answer. So part number 1 is saying that if two coins are tossed simultaneously, there are three possible outcomes: two heads, two tails, or one of each. Therefore, for each of these outcomes, the probability is 1 by 3. No, this statement is not correct, as number 1 statement is incorrect, as the events are not equally likely, as PHH is 1 by 3, PTT is 1 by 3, but PHT or TH, because it is saying either means two heads, two tails, or one of each. So or one of each, this will be considered as 2. So it will be equals to 2 by 3. So we can see the probability is not coming same, so it is not equally likely. So the statement is incorrect. Number 2, if a die is thrown, there are two possible outcomes: an odd number or an even number. Therefore, the probability of getting an odd number is half. Yes, it is correct. So number 2 statement is correct, as the events are equally likely, as P of odd number equals to 1 by 2 and P of even number is also half. So exercise 15.1 is complete, children. Now next video I'll be making exercise 15.2. So practice the sums of exercise 15.1. Do all the sums by your own, and then only you refer the exercise of 15.1 which I have explained over here. So till then, goodbye children. Thank you.